What if the biggest change coming to NCIS isn't the shocking cliffhanger everyone is talking about? What if something much bigger is happening behind the scenes? Because after 23 seasons, NCIS is entering a completely new era, and the clues suggest that the show we've known for years may never look the same again. One beloved leader is gone. New faces are arriving. Old secrets are resurfacing. And somehow, 5 years after walking away, Leroy Jethro Gibbs is suddenly becoming important again. At first glance, the season 23 finale looked relatively quiet compared to everything that happened throughout the year. But underneath the surface, something deeper was unfolding. Season 23 put the major case response team through one emotional blow after another. Fans saw unexpected reunions with Ellie Bishop and Billy Fuentes. They watched the devastating death of Director Leon Vance, a loss that completely changed the future of the agency. For years, Vance had been the steady force holding everything together. He survived political battles, personal tragedies, and countless dangerous situations. No matter how chaotic things became, everyone knew Vance would always be there. Now, for the first time in years, NCIS is without its leader. And that creates a dangerous power vacuum. But strangely, the finale wasn't focused on replacing Vance. Instead, the biggest shock arrived in the final moments. Timothy McGee's secret son, Mateo, who originally appeared to be interested in an internship, was revealed to have hidden motives. Suddenly, everything viewers thought they understood changed. Nick Torres quickly sensed that something wasn't right. Torres has always trusted his instincts. Whether he's undercover or protecting his team, he can usually recognize danger before everyone else. And that's exactly what happened. The situation escalated into a tense standoff. Then came the sound nobody expected, a gunshot. And just like that, the episode ended. No answers, no explanations, only questions. Who fired? Who was hit? And perhaps most importantly, what happens next? Interestingly, showrunner Stephen D. Binder has already confirmed that nobody dies from the shooting. But that doesn't necessarily mean everyone will come out unchanged. Sometimes emotional wounds leave deeper scars than physical ones. Could this incident permanently damage the relationship between Torres and McGee? Could Mateo become one of the biggest threats the team has ever faced? And was Torres right all along? Those are the questions fans are asking heading into season 24. But as dramatic as the finale was, another revelation may actually be more important. Wilmer Valderrama recently teased that major changes are coming. Not small adjustments. Not minor story developments. Major changes. Even more interesting, he revealed that there will also be major additions. That statement alone has sparked endless speculation among fans. Because when NCIS says major additions, history tells us that someone's role usually changes, or someone leaves. Throughout the show's history, every major transition has reshaped the team. When Ziva left, everything changed. When Tony departed, the atmosphere changed. When Gibbs retired, fans wondered if the series could survive. And somehow, NCIS always found a way forward. Which brings us to Alden Parker. Replacing Leroy Jethro Gibbs once seemed impossible. Mark Harmon wasn't simply the star of NCIS, he was the identity of the show. For nearly 2 decades, viewers associated Gibbs with everything NCIS represented. So when Gary Cole joined the cast, many fans worried that he would simply become another Gibbs. But Parker succeeded because he didn't try to replace anyone. He created his own style. He made mistakes. He showed vulnerability. And over time, audiences accepted him. Now, after several seasons, Parker finally feels like the true leader of the team. Which is why season the 24th of May represent the final stage of NCIS's evolution after Gibbs' departure. For years, the show has been transitioning away from the old era. Now, it may finally be ready to stop looking backward and begin focusing completely on the future. But ironically, just as NCIS prepares to move forward, Gibbs returned. And that's what makes this entire situation so fascinating. In season 23's Deal with the Devil, Wayne Rogers became a threat not only to Parker, but also to everyone around him. He threatened Parker's family. He threatened his team. He threatened the people Parker cared about. And suddenly, Parker found himself facing a problem that normal rules couldn't solve. That's when he reached out to Gibbs. Think about what that means emotionally. Parker spent years proving he could stand on his own. Yet when everything became personal, the one person he trusted most was Gibbs. That decision says a lot about their relationship. Even though Gibbs retired years ago, Parker still sees him as someone he can rely on. Someone who understands the burden of leadership. Someone willing to do what others cannot. Eventually, Wayne Rogers was killed by a sniper. Although Gibbs never appeared on screen, everything pointed toward him being responsible. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. Because Gibbs and Vance shared decades of friendship. They survived countless tragedies together. Losing Vance wasn't just another case. It was personal. Do you think Gibbs could simply sit quietly in Alaska while his friend's killer escaped justice? Probably not. That's what makes his return feel so powerful. He didn't come back because he missed the job. He came back because loyalty has always defined who he is. Even after retirement, Gibbs is still Gibbs. But here's the scary part. What if this isn't over? What if somebody eventually starts asking questions? What if evidence somehow points back toward Parker? Could Gibbs' secret return eventually create even bigger problems? And would Parker regret involving him? Those possibilities could become one of Season 24's biggest storylines. Meanwhile, another problem continues growing inside the agency. Who replaces Leon Vance? Without a permanent director, NCIS faces uncertainty. And unfortunately, Gabriel LaRoche appears ready to take advantage of the situation. Unlike previous leaders, LaRoche seems more interested in power than service. He understands politics. He understands influence. But does he understand the people? That's the question. Because Vance wasn't respected simply because of his title. He earned that respect. He protected his agents. He fought for his people. He made sacrifices. Can anyone truly replace someone like that? Some fans believe the answer may lie in the past. Could NCIS finally bring back Harmon Jr. from JAG? It would be a full-circle moment. After all, NCIS itself began as a spin-off of JAG. Introducing Harm into the flagship series after all these years would honor the history of the franchise while giving the agency an experienced leader. And honestly, it would be one of the biggest surprises the show has ever delivered. At the same time, Wilmer Valderrama's comments suggest something even bigger. The cast itself may be expanding. That raises another question. Is someone leaving? Historically, NCIS rarely increases its team size without changing something first. The current lineup already includes Parker, McGee, Torres, Knight, Casey, and Jimmy Palmer. Adding more characters means the balance will inevitably shift. Could someone be preparing to say goodbye? Some fans have already started worrying about Torres. His own comments joking about hoping he survives. Season 24 have only added fuel to the speculation. After everything Torres has gone through over the years, could his story finally be approaching its end? Or are the writers preparing something completely unexpected? One thing is certain. NCIS Season 24 feels different. This doesn't feel like another routine season. It feels like the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter without Vance. A chapter where Parker fully becomes the face of the franchise. A chapter where old legends like Gibbs continue influencing events from the shadows. And perhaps a chapter where new characters shape the future for the next decade. After 23 years, most television shows begin slowing down. But somehow, NCIS keeps reinventing itself. That's why fans keep coming back. Because beneath all the investigations and action scenes, NCIS has always been about family, about loyalty, about change, and about the people who refuse to give up on each other. As Season 24 approaches, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The old era is ending. A new era is beginning. And the decisions made now could determine the future of NCIS for the next 10 years. But maybe the biggest mystery isn't who survives the finale. Maybe the biggest mystery is this. If Gibbs has already stepped out of retirement once, will he eventually return for good? And if that happens, do you think NCIS should fully embrace the future with Parker? Or bring Mark Harmon back for one final chapter?